ये हुई ना. You like that scene?
This whole interview feels like get a good review.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not.
Why? What? Why else? Why else
He's
are we
not
doing
giving
this?
away anything, huh?
Why else are we doing this?
Physicality, of course, is the same, and so on and so forth.
Again,
but
that was another question.
it is the question.
That is giving him tips here.
No, I haven't given any tips. I haven't given him, and I have no business giving him tips.
गांधी जी के जो पंक्चुएशंस होते थे ना वो बहुत ही ऑड हुआ करते थे.
I read somewhere where Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman were going to do Eyes Wide Shut, and Steven Spielberg told him that Kubrick is like a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just till he gets it right.
Hello, Team Freedom at Midnight. Welcome to Cinema Express. I am Karthik.
Hi.
I want to start off with you, Nikhil. To start off with you. Like, this is a very, whenever these shows are made about the freedom struggle or about a period drama, we usually see like Indians fighting against the British. Or that's what the story is about. This is a very peculiar time in history, very, very particular time in history, a year before we got independence. So many different ideologies are, clashing against each other. I want to know, was this something, or was there something more that interested you in, picking up this time and making a series about
Incredible book. Not that incredible book mainly because it doesn't take itself too seriously. The book itself doesn't take it seriously. I don't think the authors take themselves as if that we are going to be. I mean, they're wonderful authors, great research, very, 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 very powerful and invigorating kind of writing. But so I mean. Given the opportunity, given the fact that we had done a Rocket Boys and Sony Liv and myself were looking at doing something, what we hope is going to be viewed as possibly more ambitious than what we had done with Rocket Boys, and like a step in the right direction. I'm not saying a step above or below, but in the right direction, taking forward what we started in terms of that Rocket Boys being a show about nation building. Let's try and make a show which actually shows you the incredible decisions, the incredible moments, the incredible choices that these incredible men had to make, given the fact that they were surrounded by. Have you seen the first 2 episodes?
Yeah.
They've sent us, right? Did you like it? You didn't tell me you liked it.
I liked it.
Oh, you didn't tell it.
I have to see more to
That's
like
how
have
we will
a.
start. You can't start this conversation after seeing 2 episodes. I think I'll start with you. It's not going. You're first say, I liked it. You liked it. I'm not forcing you.
No. I mean, like, you'll know my review, and then like we'll find out like the whole.
Oh,
when
shit,
or the whole
sorry. I didn't know you. Okay. Then that's extremely risky. Yeah. No. So you, I'm they delete. Delete, please. Yeah. So no. So it's just that I feel that there's a ticking time clock. There was a ticking time clock, and they were from which I put into the background score also. And it's funny, a lot of things that Danish sir, myself, and Shogato used to just speak. And history that you may not know, but history you should know. It's something that Danish sir just said. And we said, this is the lens through which we are going to see the show. So do I like Gandhi? Do I not like Gandhi? Do I think he did the correct thing or not? Do I like Nehru? Do I not like Nehru? Do you not like Jinnah? I'm not even saying you are right. I'm just saying those kind of. I think that the important thing is that at that point the events are indisputable. That these things happen.
Yeah.
These things happened that led this one big thing to happen. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that I want. So I mean, the British really, fighting against the British became a little inconsequential. They were honestly, they were not of any consequence at that time. And having said that, they took some very, very radical decisions. Yeah.
Was there a mandate for everybody to read the book? Or like, was it like...
Most of them said, no, we're not reading it.
I actually didn't want to read the book.
Why?
I didn't want to draw comparisons between the script and the book,
Okay.
That's why. But I mean, it covered everything that it had to.
Nikhil, you seem to gravitate towards historicals a lot when it comes to web series. Like Rocket Boys before this and The Empire. Any particular affinity you have for it? Does it like when it's a series format, do you... Like just history comes to you naturally? Or
I love history.
Okay.
One of my favorite podcasts, The Empire by William Dalrymple.
Yes,
It's an incredible podcast. I mean, I've finished seeing. I finished. Is there a new season? I don't know. Have you? Do you
I've
follow
heard it. I've heard
I mean,
it.
I followed
Yeah.
till
Yeah.
I could follow till the American independence
Yeah.
and whatever. After that, I have not. So it's an incredible podcast, and I love it. And it actually starts with it starts with William Dalrymple
Yes.
completely trashing freedom at midnight. Right?
No,
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the podcast. So I and all the money that I should have made in Freedom at Midnight, I've spent on all the books that they recommend.
Yeah.
I love history. I think it's written, if it's written, viscerally,
Yeah.
then it's beautiful.
When it comes to the actors, I want to know Sidhant and Arif and Chirag. When you get these characters, this basically historical figures like Jawaharlal Nehru is there, and then Jinnah is there, and Gandhi is there. When you get these characters, are these characters the enough hook to do a show or do a story, or do you have something more also that is exciting when it comes to maybe this Freedom at Midnight? Or do you only see this, this is the character, this is the opportunity I've gotten, I should do it?
Oh, it was actually the story. The moment I started reading the script, third episode. I remember I was reading the third episode, and there was no way back.
Yeah.
As an actor, I was in that world already. The way the script is written, and more research that I did, all the choices that each character makes in this journey of this film, everything sort of aligned. The facts why Nehru made this decision or that decision, why Mahatma Gandhi held on to his principles, why Sardar Patel was sort of giving into what he was giving into. Everything just made sense, so it felt like the truth. And the moment you feel the truth as an actor, you want to chase it. So that's for me.
Arif, what is very interesting that you have also played Nehru in 1962 War in the Hills.
Yeah.
And now you're like, it's just a coin flip and you're playing Jinnah. Did you have any tips for him to how to go about playing
I
Nehru?
don't have tips for anybody. But coming back to my character specifically, I've grown up in Bombay. So Jinnah, I've always had a fascination for Jinnah because you heard these stories at Malabar Hill. And my mother comes from South Bombay.
Okay.
And she lived behind Mani Bhavan. And I remember as a child growing up, and my father used to say that bungalow at Malabar Hill, Muhammad Ali Jinnah used to stay there.
Oh, nice.
So being in Bombay, from Bombay, South Bombay, you grew up with that story. And answering your primary question as to the hook. And Jinnah was famously infamous, infamously famous.
Yeah.
So I like that complexity, duality of that character. Of course, for Indians, we are very partisan as to how we react and respond to Jinnah.
Yeah.
But therein lies the challenge. That danger which was perhaps there outside. A lot of people say, you're playing Jinnah aaj ke mahal mein. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I like that challenge. When you play a complex, layered character like Jinnah, that's the challenge I think an actor waits for. Yeah. Why play a safe character as opposed to playing a complex, dimensional character like Jinnah? It's as simple as that, if I can answer your question.
No, his question was that you played Nehru.
I played. No, I have no tips for anybody. That was so. I played Nehru with Mahesh.
You just segued into talking about
that's
your
what I was
character.
He said about
he didn't
the
ask you about your character at all.
So in 1960, see the context there was the 1962 China War, and Nehru and Chauhan, who Abi Chauhan. So it was all machinations about how they created that war room, how they couldn't prevent China from entering, and it was a failed attempt. So that was Nehru in that context.
Yeah.
But Nehru or any other character, I played Gandhi on stage.
Yeah.
Just to add.
It just shows your range,
No, not that way. But there's a context to how the character is. So you can't really talk about Nehru. I can't talk about Nehru in context of Freedom at Midnight.
Yes.
I can perhaps talk about him in the context where I've already played him.
Yeah.
Physicality, of course, is the same and so on and so forth.
Well, again,
but
that was another question.
it is the question.
Question was, are you giving him tips here?
No, I haven't given any tips. I haven't given him, and I have no business giving him tips. It's just different script. He's got to follow the written word here as I followed it there. That's it.
When it comes to actors, like I've already I've always talked to actors when they play a real life character. I've always seen that there are some actors who are very particular about how the diction is or how the mannerism is or wo kaise uthta hai, kaise baithta hai, kaise aata hai. And there are some actors who don't these things take a backseat and they are most concerned about how this character falls into the story or their own interpretation of it. I want to ask the three of you, what was your approach while doing your characters?
For me, it was finding the essence, the energy, the which depends on how the character thinks. once you sort of align your thinking with his thinking, you start to see the world differently. And when that starts to happen, I think everything aligns itself, be it the behavior, be it the nuances, be it the husk in the voice, and all those things starts to follow. End of the day, you can take a real life character. It's a responsibility to reach to the character as closely as you possibly can. And that was actually the aim. And yeah, I truly believed that I am Jawaharlal Nehru when I was playing him. I had to. Only when you believe, someone else will believe. And we already believed when we met. I called him Bapu from the get-go. I looked at him as Jinnah every time I met him on set.
Yeah.
You know, you always have that consistent dialogue and voice inside of you. And that's why when you meet in the scene, anything can happen and you're open to that. You're not really rehearsed with, you're going to say this line this way.
Yeah.
So it's written that way, but you keep an openness in that moment for the raw emotions to sort of flourish. And that happened. Yeah.
Was it the same for you, Arif?
I mean, I like approaching, I need a certain, so I try to keep Jinnah from what I heard and what I rehearsed. His dialogue delivery was like a bark because he gave commands, even in a slightly normal way, even the earlier discussions we had. So even when he addressed his sister and he spoke what would seem naturally, there was a certain bark in the voice. I've tried to keep that.
Yeah.
A certain command in the dialogue delivery, which enhances his personality a little. Aggressive, commanding, you know, he has his own ego and his self-belief is so strong that whatever, you know, it could be incorrect. But the way he projects it to the people around has to be a strong command. So I tried consciously working on these little things. He was frail, he was ailing.
Yeah.
So certain sense and a certain physicality was very important. Without that, it wouldn't have come across. So these subtle things I was conscious of. And of course, the smoking part.
Yeah.
He was a chain smoker. He smoked constantly, even after doctor's advice. So all these subtle things I try to incorporate and hopefully it comes together. I hope so.
Yeah.
We'll
For
know
you-
when he gives the review.
Yeah, of course.
And for you, Chirag?
Telling him things he probably hasn't seen.
You guys are giving me spoilers. For you, Chirag, was it like, do you have something like in your head, like you are going to play Mahatma Gandhi and like he has been played by so many actors and like there is Richard Attenborough's Gandhi, there is different versions of him. I always feel like there is so much baggage like which is coming with the character.
और जैसा कि आपने कहा कि हर एक ये चॉइसेस होती है, हर एक एक्टर की अपनी अपनी चॉइस होती है कि आपको किस तरह का अप्रोच रखना है, आपको वो सारी मैनरिज्म्स और उसको फॉलो करना है नहीं करना है. बट माई अप्रोच एंड माई चॉइस एज एन एक्टर वॉज कि भाई मैं सारे यूट्यूब पर जितने भी उनके वीडियोज़ हैं गांधी जी के, वो सारे वो सारे उनकी बॉडी जो है, मैनरिज्म्स जो है, वो अपने आप में वो मैं उसमें ढल सकूं या मैं उस बॉडी लैंग्वेज को अपने आप में ढाल सकूं, उसके लिए मैंने काफ़ी बार उनको देखा, काफ़ी बार यूट्यूब पर उनके स्पीच के जो रेफरेंसेस हैं वो भी मैंने सुने. और अगर आप सुनेंगे तो ये जानेंगे कि गांधी जी के जो पंक्चुएशंस होते थे ना, वो बहुत ही ऑड हुआ करते थे. तो पर यहाँ पर जब हम परफॉर्म करते हैं तो यानी एक फाइन बैलेंस रखना था कि वो पंक्चुएशन की ऑडनेस भी रहे, एट द सेम टाइम डायलॉग जो है वो इफेक्टिवली लोगों तक पहुँचे, ऑडियंस तक. उसकी उस मोमेंट की ग्रेविटी जो है, सिचुएशन की ग्रेविटी भी जो है वो भी बरकरार रहे. तो ये सारे ये जो डिफरेंट कॉम्बिनेशंस है वो बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग और वो बहुत ही चैलेंजिंग रहा है. और दैट इज़ द मोस्ट सेटिस्फाइंग एंड फन पार्ट ऑफ इट, वो परफॉर्म करना. So yeah, that is the choice every actor makes. So I did all this for performing.
Nikhil, do you like your actors being very prepared and like read everything about it, or do you want them to be more spontaneous on sets? Like, what is your thing about actors? How should they go about it? Like whenever you're given a scene.
नहीं, इस सर मैं कहना चाहूँगा,
मतलब मैंने सारे YouTube वीडियोस देखे, मैंने ये किया वो किया, and he would come and I would say, यार शर्ट ऊपर कर.
Yeah.
how much weight have you lost? My job, as I think my job, and it has nothing to do with just Freedom at Midnight. It has to do with everything. All the don't, in the sense that I want to demystify especially with freedom and
Yeah.
demystify the burden that you are going to have to
Yeah.
carry playing these characters, right? Just be in the moment.
Yeah.
What is a person like Nehru, which you read a lot about,
Yeah,
because he
yeah,
read more about Nehru than I did.
Yeah.
He possibly read more about Jinnah than he did. I didn't know the bark.
Yeah.
He's telling me a bark for the first time. I said, oh wow, that's damn good, man. Right now he's telling me, he never told me that you were barking. I wish you don't have barking
We should
dogs.
come out and you should say.
Barking dogs rarely bite.
With the bark.
You know. So I mean, I don't know. My see, you know, there's an interesting story of Kubrick, which I read somewhere where Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman were going to do Eyes Wide Shut, and Steven Spielberg told him that Kubrick is like a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just till he gets it right, you know, he drives you insane. And then after the first day, Tom Cruise called up Steven Spielberg and said, "What are you doing? What are you saying? We've finished a 5-page scene, yeah. Only one shot is left.
Yeah.
And we are doing we have to enter the room, but rest of we nailed the whole scene." So he said, "Damn good. Maybe I got it wrong." And then next evening, Tom Cruise called up and said, "You are right. You got it right, because I didn't. He made me enter the room 52 times. 52 times he made me enter the room, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out." And he said, I finally asked him that, "Sir, what am I doing wrong?" He said, "I don't know, but you're not doing it right."
Is he like Kubrick on set? Does he get particular
I don't know.
about
So
certain- No, I'm
there
asking
are
the
times
actors.
there are times when Chirag was doing a scene or whatever, I would just go up to him and say that I don't think that you should say it like that. I think that maybe, you know, put a softer mode. I don't know. So it's very rarely that a director can see actors working and say, "Wow, this is better than what I saw inside my head."
But
I think with the whole cast of Freedom at Midnight, that is, it's a great line, right? No? For the review, the
Yeah.
whole
I'm
cast of
recording.
Freedom at Midnight, the whole cast of Freedom at Midnight, I felt that every single day.
I want to ask you this. Whenever I see like a lot of like period shows, I'm very open and very particular about the production design. And what one thing irks me is everything looks old, but everything also looks very new, like a very new product. There is no sense of time. What I really liked about Freedom at Midnight, the first episode, when all of them are standing in front of the elevator, you see the mark of the elevator. It looks a little old. It doesn't look like brand new. Okay, and then there is a sense of time. I want to know, what was your vision when it comes to the production design?
Yes, Mumbai Diaries just taught me that make everything look horrible. Just make it look very,
Yeah.
And in the sense that it needs to look a little real, right? In the
Yeah.
sense, so I don't know. I think that we took a decision that dialogue should not be there.
Okay.
It should sound as "मेरे पास माँ है." You know, when
Yeah.
Gandhi says कि मतलब सत्य की सिपाही कब से ये सत्य पे ये करने लगे सरदार, या I felt that I learned from what Hansal did with Scam, and I thought that a big part of Scam was the fact that you could quotable quotes.
Yeah.
You could speak about the dialogue. Indian audiences love dialogue.
Yes.
So I said, boom, let's make sure that everybody, you know, you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. Boom.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to say anything more.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything more. You don't have to understand that it's a horrible thing that has happened. And here's Jinnah saying that, listen, I'm going to take advantage of the situation. I'm going to take advantage. People are saying, no. So that. But I wanted to make sure that the costume we got right. I wanted the color palette we got right. I wanted to make sure, so like I said, I want to transport you into that world and put you into that world so that you also can understand that, yeah, these guys made tough calls. They made tough decisions. They went through tough decisions. That's the only thing. So I mean, at least the production designer is going to get a good review.
I hope so.
Yeah. बाकी सब पता नहीं.
Notice the lift.
बाकी सब पता नहीं. वो lift cutting things. But these are the things that like when we did when they made the corridor said, I knew the Muslim League is going to come from there, Congress is going to come from there, and they're going to meet. And it's very important for me because it's the first scene in the show.
Yeah.
After the Gandhi scene, this is the first scene where they're catching up. I wanted them to catch up as if they were like fraternity boys.
Yes.
It's a
There's
funny
a certain
scene, actually.
fun. Yeah.
It's
There's a
very
certain
funny.
fun.
They're
Yes.
frat boys, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to get in the elevator first?
Yeah.
कौन जाने वाला है पहले? That and so they're standing over there and Sardar makes this thing, and it did not have the this thing.
The lift mark.
So I said, let's treat it like a sitcom. Remember? When you guys came?
Yeah.
And I said, single shot. Just like this. All of us are standing over there like reservoir dogs. और ऐसे वो लोग ऐसे देख रहे हैं, you know. And with every punch, like a sitcom, you have a laughter track.
Yeah.
So tongue, tuck, the next is tuck, tuck. So I just felt that after this is going to become very, very serious, and these
Yeah.
guys are going to become.
But this is a good in.
Sworn enemies.
Yeah.
You know? But it's
Yeah.
a good in.
Yeah.
And you know, every character in that 1 minute is established. What Nehru with his glasses, he's wearing,
Yes.
says to Sardar. Sardar looks at me, I look at disdain. Piche Liaquat is reacting very
Yeah.
strangely. Next to him is Maulana Azad looking ke what the hell is. It establishes the whole character in a nutshell. In like 1 minute, you understand with that silence they're standing. The body language perhaps comes out and says, these are what the characters are essentially all about. I think that's it.
You know, and they were walking down. I said, "Yeah, Nehru, can we give him dark glasses?" And all my team who have done 100 research or whatever. I said, "No, how? Sir, what do you mean?" And his high-speed shot, he looked like a rock star. And I said,
like, I want him to look
I
like a
saw
rock
some footage where he was wearing dark glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they said, what? So I said, I saw some footage when you guys were showing me footage or what. I saw some footage where he was wearing dark glasses. So I gave him the dark glasses, right?
He did, yeah.
And Maulana also in the cold open of episode 2 is wearing dark glasses because
Yeah.
Maulana was actually very
Yeah.
stylish.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A stylish dude. Yeah, you know?
yeah,
So I said, "Chalo, yaar, dal do dark glasses." And I sent it to Danish and Shogato because we had one of the last things we shot was this corridor scene. And I sent it to Danish
their
and Shogato.
reaction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, message me, sunglasses? So I said, you clip.
There was also the very interesting bit of you guys getting lost, like you and Sardar Vallabhbhai getting lost in the when they go and
Yeah, I
make the
think
dishes,
it's
they
one
get
of, one of
lost.
the most beautiful
Yeah,
sequences.
because that
Yeah.
suddenly changes the tone. Like whatever,
It does.
there is a very serious
Yeah,
discussion has happened,
yeah.
and now these two people are trying to find an exit.
Yeah.
Okay, like were there all conscious decisions you were making, or like was it on the set only this was happening?
No.
Yes,
This is a beautifully
yes.
written scene, and whenever
Yeah.
we did this, when we did our readings and we did our workshops, and our people were waiting for this scene to come because the two of
Yeah.
them used to play it that way also. I mean, he's talking about Chutkara from Jinnah, that guy is talking about getting out of the Viceroy. Is saying,
it's
you know,
insane.
so
Yeah.
it's a.
And I think it's genius choreography of
And
the
I
entire
know-
scene.
and
It's just great.
Once give credit to Tarun. That's not been shot by me. It's been shot by the second unit. The second, because I was shooting some dramatic scene between Mountbatten and they तुम लोग जाके ये करो. And they've shot it so beautifully.
So good. It's
So
so good.
beautifully they've
Yeah,
shot it.
it's
And
so
then-
good.
And it's full credit where it's and I watch it when we heard the first time when they narrated it, when the writers narrated, I was like, yeah, ये हुई ना writing.
Yeah.
ये हुई ना. You like
Yeah.
that scene? ना?
This whole interview feels like get a good review.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not,
Why? What? Why else? Why
and
else
he's
are we
not
doing
giving
this?
away anything up.
Why else are we doing this?
So
Yeah.
what's with this mystery that you're holding on to, Karthik? We want
पूरे
to know.
7 के बाद देगा ना रिव्यू, अभी 2 में थोड़ी.
हाँ?
पूरे 7 देखने के बाद you'll review it. ना? Or
Yes.
you've just seen 2, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you'll
but
have to wait for a week.
Not
Why?
giving away anything, huh? That's
15 को देगा
tough.
ना.
I'm a great
15
actor.
Yeah, sir, I think you should cast him.
I think they'll get it as soon as 7 comes out of the bhatti.
अच्छा, okay, हाँ, yeah, you'll get before.
It will go.
Yeah, you all will get before.
So please cast him in a silent film.
Yeah.
I will cast you. What can I do? When
But I want to ask you, Nikhil, this like whenever you're making like a show about like a historical show and a show about our freedom struggle, and think it comes with so many like baggage because everybody has an opinion of Nehru, everybody has an opinion of Jinnah, everybody has an opinion of Gandhi, and a lot of times a lot of filmmakers go into that thing of villainizing one against another. How do you like manage to be neutral in this situation and see them as people and not as heroes and villains?
I think that's how one manages
Because
to
you've
make
shown their
something
personal
like
lives
this.
also. So that kind of contrasts and balances, I guess, to small extent.
I mean,
I think it's easier to do when it's history, especially if it is so well documented. In terms of the logline of the show was sacrifice of many and ambition of one, you know, and so I used to put it up on my hotel room bathroom mirror, sacrifice of many, and every scene, whether he did a scene, whether they did a scene together, or he did a scene, and I would just is it somewhere contributing to that core idea? Is it contributing to that core idea, right? I think a big part of Fatima
Yeah.
era in the show is for me to understand what he's thinking.
Yeah.
for me to understand his complexity, for me to understand his insecurities, for me to understand that he feels that he was the anointed one and it has
Yeah.
been chosen, it has been taken away from him. मैं गांधी के बराबर हूँ, don't patronize me. ये लोग गांधी को देखने नहीं आए, कायदे आजम को देखने आए,
Yeah.
right? In that one scene, you realize that this is a guy who basically, next scene, he's got tuberculosis. My rivals must not find out.
Yeah.
The diabolical this thing of here is a man who, and it's from, so if actually if I had put that scene before this scene,
Yeah.
right, you would have felt that ये villain है, right? But you already seen that here is a guy who basically says कि मैं गांधी के बराबर.
Yeah.
His core is that.
Yeah.
His very, and when you see episode 7, you will realize कि there's a lovely line where Sarojini says that he was a rising star.
Yeah.
And Zakir, who's the AIR, he's a AIR
Radio
announcer, radio jockey, the announcer, he says that, what happened? He says, well, the sun rose. And when the sun comes, the stars fade away. Right? Incredible. क्या line है वो? क्या beautiful line है वो, right?
Yeah.
And that's the core of Jinnah.
Yeah.
And that very small thing
Yeah.
led him to do what?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to explore.
On that very nice note, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
for
Thank
He
speaking
said
to
nice.
me.
He said nice.
Best of luck.
We said nice. It has been a success.
Best of luck for freedom.
And we now read. Arre, yaar.